I make Roblox games. I'm not necessarily good at it, but one of my games blew up, and as a result, I've made 100,000 Robux. So, I should probably continue updating the game and scaling it to eventually reach the front page. Or we could just throw that game in the trash and act like it never existed. To understand why, we gotta go back in time. 2 months ago, I was poor. I had a few thousand visits under my name with like 5,000 Robux. Then I started working on a button simulator because thousands have already been made and button simulators are easy to make. The point of making the button simulator was for me to learn something new with each update that I added to the game. But I think the only thing I learned was I suck at scripting. Long story short, I'm done working on the button simulator because I want to move on to something that I'm really passionate about instead of just the learning experience. So what's the next game? If you're one of the 50 people that watched my videos 3 years ago, then you know that I'm a huge fan of this game called Pet Ranch Simulator. In Pet Ranch Simulator, each player owns their own small farm. The objective is to open eggs and get the best pets possible that will generate you the most coins over time. And once you got enough cash, you would be able to afford better eggs which contain even better pets. It might sound really simple, but the game was so addicting. And the leaderboards were so competitive. My friends would be constantly purchasing temporary boosts to ensure that they would stay on the leaderboards, which means that the game was generating more Robux than you could even imagine. Let alone the fact that the game has over 100 million visits. Sadly, if you search the game today, it's died off, so I'm hoping to bring the game back to life with my new version. Before we make the game, we're gonna have to figure out how to make an egg system, because that's an essential part of the game. It can't be that hard though. Literally every simulator uses it. Turns out it's kind of hard. I tried a few YouTube tutorials, but I just couldn't figure out how it actually worked. So I went into the toolbox and found an egg system that was basically a copy of Pet Simulator X. And I probably put a bunch of viruses on my computer, but it's whatever. Now that we have the egg system implemented, we need to make our own pets. There's only one issue though. I've never made pets before. I'm not competing with much though, since most pets on Roblox are just boxes with legs and ears. My pet's gonna be special though. I'm gonna make a box with legs, ears, and wings. I think we should name him Fred. Now that we have Fred in Roblox Studio, we just need to hook up all the meshes to the primary part and place it in the pets folder, and now we should get it from the egg. Maybe a free model from the toolbox wasn't the smartest idea. At this point, I was in a tough situation because I didn't know how to make an egg hatching system, but I also didn't want to use the toolbox because it's unoriginal. I think we found our solution. Throughout my last game, we discovered that I can't script. So why don't we just hire someone to do the scripting for me? Introducing the first member of the Happy Team, Taco the Programmer. I guess I should pay him to write my essays too. Taco and I didn't waste any time getting straight to work. I started off by making a simple layout of the map with 8 islands and then a large central island. The small islands are going to be each of the players' individual islands, and then the large central island will be where the eggs are, along with many other things for the players to do. After finishing the layout, I had Taco import his egg system. Speaking of egg systems, Taco helped me create an egg system to put on Shop the Happy for you guys, because I know that finding a good egg system that you can really trust is hard, and then once you get it, it's hard to customize to your liking. The system we made is very easy to customize because the scripting is so optimized, unlike my scripting in my previous games. People have been really enjoying the game and making good use of the assets, so I really recommend checking it out if you haven't yet and you want to start Roblox developing. There's also free stuff. With the egg system imported, I had Taco add a progress bar on the island that shows how fast the player is generating coins and how much they are generating per second. Taco also scripted the pets so that they move around the island randomly, which I think turned out really well. The pets are just free models though, so it's time for our second attempt of making pets. Sorry Fred, but I don't think we're gonna use you. I started off by importing this face pack that somebody sent me on Discord. I'm just praying that these faces are free to use because I suck at making faces. So for the first pet, we're gonna make a doggy. I'm sure you found that really surprising. I tried going for a similar style to Pet Simulator X with the body, but it just seemed too blocky for me. So I went back into Blender and added a bevel to the same body to help smoothen things out, and I think it looks a lot better this way. We'll keep making it better later, but let's go ahead and import this into the game for now. Taco's pet system has this really cool feature where you can just highlight a pet and enter this command, and then it makes the pet compatible with everything in the egg system. Then you can just drop the model into whichever egg you want the pet to be in, and you're all set. Now when we test the game, we get the doggy out of the egg. Just a disclaimer, we are going to upgrade the UI and the egg hatching animation in the future, but we are taking the game one step at a time, and we feel like getting down the core gameplay is more important at the moment. I'm thinking of going for a similar hatching animation to Mining Simulator 2 in the future. Let me know if there's any other games with a good hatching animation that we should try to copy. While I was busy adding our first pet, Taco was working on this upgrade pad where you can increase your max pets equipped along with your max inventory. I plan to have the max pets equipped upgrade reset every time the player rebirths. One nice thing about having a scripter is that I can focus on what I'm best at, building. Pet Ranch Simulator had such a unique map, with a bunch of floating islands and a massive tree in the center. I'm not going to go as far as copying the tree, but I really want to keep the floating islands because I think it's an iconic part of the game. You might notice the islands change as the video goes on, because I'm just going to keep messing around until I find something that I really think looks good. For the farm on the island, I just added a fence around a block of dirt, and then I gave the dirt this checkered pattern. I adjusted the heights of some of the tiles for variety, but let me know if you think I should just keep it all flat. Next, I brought in some of the models from my asset pack to decorate the island some more. Then I ended off the day by adjusting some of the lighting. On the next day, I created this little area for the upgrade pad. I also changed the pad to neon blue and created a particle that will rise from the pad. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted. To get an idea of what the islands would look like so far, I copy and pasted them 8 times around this large center island, and we've actually got a lot more of the map done than I thought. Next, I deleted the base plate and messed around with the skies until I found this anime sky that I liked. After this, I deleted the other islands and continued working on the small details, such as this bridge that connects the island to the main map. So the game is already coming together, but the sky kind of messed up the lighting and everything is super bright now. So instead of changing the lighting, I just made the colors of everything a bit darker. At this point, I thought it would be a good time to take a break from the island, because when you come back after some time, you notice the things that need to be changed. It's time for attempt 3 of making pets. I took the same dog model from before, but I changed the ears to make them big and baggy and hang down the dog's face. And just that one simple change made the dog look way more like a dog. But it obviously isn't going to be the only pet in the game, so I added a cat, bunny, and bear. I also tried customizing some of the pet faces to better fit the pets that I had, but it's not perfect. So yeah, as of right now, these are going to be the pets that we use in the first egg. With the pets out of the way, I went back into the main project because Taco and I were talking and decided that it would be cooler if the island upgrades were on a board instead of the upgrade pad. So I did the design of the board for Taco to start scripting off of. I obviously started off with a title and then added in 3 different upgrade buttons for each of the different upgrades. The first upgrade is going to be the island size, which increases the max pets equipped. So I made an island icon with lines moving outward. Next, I took a picture of a box off of Google for the max pet storage upgrade. And finally, I created this clock icon for an upgrade that makes you generate coins faster. After bringing all of the icons onto the board, I started working on the main island to the game. I started off with this circle path in the center with some darker bricks around the circle, basically just copying my button simulator spawn area. Next, I added some grass under the path so that it's elevated above everything else in the map. After finishing the center, I opened the Archimedes plugin and spammed a bunch of paths around the map. While I finished up the paths, Taco did some work on the upgrades board, and now all of the upgrades work. Let me know what else you guys would like to see added to the island. The game is in such an early stage, but I really wanted to show you guys what we've done so far. And I really want to hear from all of your ideas so that we can try to implement them into the game. So leave any recommendations down in the comments, and I'll be sure to look at them all. I'm so excited to see where this game goes, and I hope you stick for the journey.